And Brak Yahweh Brakatha, Yahusha, Brak Yahweh Brakatha, Yahusha, Bahashem, Rakakwadash, double honors to the apostles, the elders, salutations to you, sincere brothers, teaching and truth and sincerity. Lesson will be entitled, Yet This Day a Great Gulf Fixed. Lord will you are edified. Luke 16:19. There was a certain rich man which was clothed in purple and fine linen and fared sumptuously every day. The rich man is symbolic for the international bankers who are Edomites. And the reason why this rich man was clothed in purple and fine linen and fared sumptuously is because he was blessed with a kingdom. The Edomites are blessed with a dominion. Verse 20, and there was a certain beggar named Lazarus, which was laid at his gate full of sores. Lazarus is symbolic for the nation of Israel. Full of sores is symbolic for the curses spoken of in Deuteronomy 28, beginning at the 15th verse. Verse 21, and desiring to be fed with the crumbs which fell from the rich man's table. This is symbolic for what? That Esau's heaven is hell for the nation of Israel. Moreover, the dogs came and licked his sores. The dogs referring to these other nations such as the Chinese, Japanese, and Africans, Arabians, East Indians. They can leave their countries and come over here and be successful. They benefit from the curses, They benefit from our punishment going into the curses. That's the reason why they can leave their countries and open up businesses within Jake so-called neighborhoods. Verse 22, and it came to pass that the beggar died and was carried by the angels into Abraham's bosom, which is symbolic for the kingdom of heaven or the kingdom of Yahushua. The rich man also died and was buried. And in hell he lifted up his eyes, being in torments, and saw Abraham afar off and Lazarus in his bosom. And the reason why the rich man was in hell is because he was a slave in the kingdom of heaven or the kingdom of Yahushua. And again, the rich man is also symbolic for the entire nation of Edom. Verse 24, and he cried and said, Father Abraham, have mercy on me, and send Lazarus, that he may dip the tip of his finger in water and cool my tongue, for I am tormented in this flame. Meaning, he's catching hell in the kingdom of heaven. Verse 25, but Abraham said, Son, remember that you in your lifetime received your good things, meaning your kingdom, and likewise Lazarus evil things, but now he is comfort and you are tormented. Verse 26, and beside all this, between us and you, there is a great gulf fixed. Now remember, some time ago, I investigated gulf, and example they used for a gulf was a yawn. So imagine a person yawning, Their mouth is separated. You have an open space because of that yawn. And it's the same thing with a great gulf fixed. You have a people on one side, space, and a people on the other side. So that they would, so that they which would pass from here to you cannot, neither can they pass to us that would come from there. Let's read this in the NLT. And besides, there is a great chasm separating us. No one can cross over to you from here, and no one can't cross over to us from there. And the reason why is because this is set up in the spirit. Okay, this play began in the spiritual realm and is manifested on earth. Okay, yet this day. And the root of this problem began in the book of Genesis, the 3rd chapter. And verse 14, and the Lord Yahweh power said unto the serpent. Now, through the concept of reincarnation, the serpent later became a descendant of the lineage of Cain as well as Esau. Okay? Because you have done this, you are cursed above all cattle and above every beast of the field. On your belly shall you go, and dust shall you eat all the days of your life. This is symbolic talk on how the Most High would make this man as well as his nation a base people. Verse 25, and I will put enmity between you and the woman. Now, the woman is symbolic for the nation of Israel. And the serpent would be symbolic for what? The nation of Edom at this time frame. The enmity is going into the hatred and the hostility. That's the reason why Jake and Esau can never get along. And between your seed and her seed, and it's manifested from generation to the next generation, to the next generation. It shall bruise your head, and you shall bruise his heel. All right. Let's go to Deuteronomy 28 and 37. And you, referring to the nation of Israel, so-called Negroes, so-called Hispanics, and so-called Native Americans based on the lineage of our fathers, and you shall become an astonishment, a proverb, and a byword among all nations, whither the Lord Yahweh shall lead you. And in the rulership of Esau, we have became a proverb. Such as like, not a proverb, but a byword, such as a nigga, okay? And our case example for this video comes from an old incident that I came across on TikTok yesterday. Teacher suspended for saying nigga, all right? Also, their YouTube video will be used for fair use purpose only.
And I just kind of was stunned a second. Well, then get away from the door, nigga. And I repeated the same insult because that's sort of what I've been trained to do. Why is this word used so frequently? So I just don't understand it. And I'm trying to understand it. I need help. Yes, I use nigga. I've used it. I admit it. I put the H on it to emphasize it's nigga. You know, nigga this, nigga please, nigga. You know, can you lend a nigga a pencil?
What kind of example are you setting for your students if you use a word that you don't want them to use?
Upon reflection, that's not good.
Dawson was suspended for 10 days without pay from January 9th to January.
Lord will you edify. Shalom.